Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Ainsworth, and we're going to get into our simplifying polynomial drill, okay? And each column represents one attempt, all right? So this is going to be your first attempt right here, first attempt, and this is going to be your second attempt and third attempt. So maybe a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday situation or a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday situation, and then we test at the end. So what we want to do is you want to go for it on the first column here and work out the first 11, and then we're going to grade yourself and see how well you did. And the idea is to try this day after day, 3 days in a row, and hopefully you see improvement. All right, so grade yourself, be honest with yourself. Don't erase your mistakes, just highlight them in red and put the correction right next to it so that you know what you did incorrectly and you know how to do it right. Okay, so don't erase your mistakes. So here we go. All right, 3x squared and plus 9x squared. You can only add variable terms with the same base and the same exponent. They're called like terms. And you add their coefficients, the 3 and 9. So 3x squared plus 9x squared gives you 12x squareds total, okay? So you combine your like terms, right? 3 plus 9 is obviously 12, and that tells me that you have 12x squares. So squares plus squares gives you more squares, right? 3 and 9 is 12. Now, when you deal with subtraction, you just add the opposite. So minus 2x squared minus 7x squared is the same thing as negative 2x squared plus a negative 7x squared. And as you guys know, a negative plus a negative is a bigger negative. Okay, so negative 2 and plus negative 7, well, that's negative 9, and that tells you how many x squareds you have. All right, when you add like terms, you have more of the same term. Okay, so the term does not change. The exponent or the base does not change, because when you add like terms, you just have more or less of the same, depending on what's going on. Now this one here, 5x cubed minus 8x to the fourth. Okay, notice that the exponents are different. Okay, so these are not like terms, so you cannot combine. The only thing you can do is write it in descending order, which we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the opposite here, so you can see that it's actually negative 8x to the fourth. I'm going to write that first because you always go from highest power down to the lowest power. That's called descending order. And then you have negative 8x to the fourth, and then 5x cubed is positive, so you go plus 5x cubed. You cannot combine unlike terms, so cannot, okay, combine unlike, all right, terms. All right, and unlike terms are ones with the different exponents, right? Right. Okay, number 4, we got some cubes here. All right, 5x cubed minus 2x squared minus 8x cubed. So what we do is we understand that we are subtracting here or adding the opposite. We're subtracting here. So what we want to do is combine like terms. So 5x cubed minus 8x cubed. Well, that is a negative 3x cubed. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. And I'm going to start off with the higher powers. So negative 3x cubed and then minus the 2x squared. All right, you combine like terms, okay? Ones with the same base and the same exponent. Kind of makes sense. You add apples with other apples, you add oranges with oranges, you add grapes with other grapes, okay? So you combine like terms. So just use your common sense. On number 5 here, we got to distribute through the 2 first. So from left to right, you got 4x squared plus 2 times x squared. All right, minus, because I see a minus there, 2 times 9x cubed is 18x cubed. Okay, then you combine like terms, which are here. Those are the like terms. Why? Because they're both squares. Squares plus more squares gives you a lot of squares. 4 plus 2 is 6, so we have 6x squared. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a higher exponent here. I'm going to start off with a negative 18x cubed, and then I'm going to add the squares next, because we're going to go in descending order, or from highest exponent down to the lowest exponent. So 4x squared plus 2x squared, well, that's 6x squared. So notice this is descending order. Descending, okay, order. High to low, okay? High to low. Okay, that's what descending order means. So third degree down to second degree. Okay, number 6, cruising right along here. Okay, we distribute through the 2, so we have 8x squared. Excuse me, 8x squared. Let's change that. 8x squared plus 2 times 3 is 6 minus x squared. So you distribute first. And then you combine like terms, the squares with the squares. 8x squared minus x squared gives you 7x squared. Why? Because 7 minus 1 is, 8 minus 1 is 7, right? And then you add a 6. 6 is a constant term of 0 degree. Okay, so it goes in second degree, then 0 degree. So always write it in descending order. Okay, descending order, high to low. All right. Next one, we're going to distribute through the -3. So you have -3 times 4 or -12, y cubed. Negative times a negative is a positive. So -3 times -7 is 21 minus the 4y cubed. All right. I see like terms here and here. Notice that I highlight the minus sign. All right. I'm going to add the opposite here so you can see it's negative. -12 plus a -4 is -16. A negative plus a negative is a bigger negative. So -16 y cubed plus 21. All right, we're doing great. So let's keep it going here. So we have to distribute through the minus sign, okay? So, or you can think of it as a -1, either way. So 2y cubed minus 5. -1 times 5 is -5. A negative times a negative is a positive, so plus 6y cubed. And then once again, I see cubes. You can add cubes with cubes, you get more cubes, right? 2 plus 6 is 8. So 8y cubed minus 5 is our result. All right, cubes plus cubes gives you a lot of cubes. So think about it like terms, okay? The term doesn't change, the exponent doesn't change, the base doesn't change, only the coefficient, because the coefficient tells you how many cubes you have. All right, 2y cubed plus 6y cubes gives you 8y cubes. Got to visualize a cube, guys, like this. All right, a cube. All right, you start off with 2 of them, you add 6 more, you have 8 total cubes. All right. Next one we're going to distribute through is the -3. So we have 2y squared minus 15, because 3 times 5 is 15, y squared. -3 times 4 is -12, y cubed. So you got to distribute twice and then add your squares together. Okay, so now you got to visualize squares. 2y squared minus 15y squared is a -13. So -13y squared, but I'm going to notice here that I have a higher degree term, so I'm going to write that first. Why? Because I talked about earlier, we want to write in descending order. That's high to low. So you start off with a -12 y cubed, and then 2 minus 15 is a -13, so -13 y squared. Okay, descending order, high to low. Okay, moving on, number 10. So distribute the 2 twice. So you have 2y squared minus 6. Because 2 times -3 is -6. Distributing the -1 or the negative sign or the minus sign is a minus 5y squared minus 4y cubed. Now I notice that the cubes are the highest degree, so I'm going to write that first. So a -4y cubed first. And then I have a 2y squared here minus a 5y squared here. So 2 minus 5 is -3, so -3y squared. And then I have the minus 6. 0 degree term. The constants are 0 degree term. They always come last. All right, high to low. It's called descending order. Okay, but high to low is the easy way to think about it. Okay, and the last one here, you got to distribute through the minus again. So y squared minus 3y cubed minus 5y. All right, a -1 times 5 is -5. A negative times a negative is a positive, so plus 4y to the 4th. And then you want to go high to low again. So here we go, starting with the highest degree term, which is right here, and it's positive because there's a plus sign. So you have 4y to 4th, and then I go, I look here, I see a minus 3y cubed, so that comes next. So minus 3y cubed. And then I see the x squared term, and that's positive because there's no positive coefficient there. So plus y squared, right? And then the last term is a minus 5y. So high to low, high to low, high to low, descending order. Okay, now your score is out of 11. So out of 11. So give your score something out of 11. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do this daily, and hopefully we see an improvement. So if you are no good today, if you made too many mistakes today, don't worry about it. The goal is to show improvement. All right, let's write that down. The goal, all right, is to improve over time. Improve over time. So don't worry about your first score, worry about your second and third scores. All right, if you show improvement, that's what you want, okay? All right, and there's your first attempt here. I'm going to separate the videos into first attempt, second attempt, and third attempt so you don't have to watch the entire thing. All right, and there you go. That is how it's done. If you want to watch it again, like I said, this is a video, right? So go for it. Listen to it, correct yourself, practice, print off another drill sheet, and do your best. And I tell you, if you do the right thing on a daily basis, you will improve, okay? And that's the whole thing about this is you want to show improvement over time. So do your best. And I'll see you the next second attempt in the drill. All right, and that'll probably be tomorrow. So this is Mr. Ainsworth. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.